What are two things that shouldn't go together no matter how badly you try to merge them? First thing that comes to my mind personally is the combination of pineapple on pizza. It's not my favorite kind in the world, but some days I feel a little wacky and eat some anyways. What the fuck are you talking about now, Tristan? Well, I'm happy you asked. In terms of combining two separate properties and putting them into one, I am of course referring to a free-to-play game on Steam that I discovered a while back on the channel, but never went into detail. It's called Stalcraft, and if the title sounds familiar, you're an avid gamer and you should be proud of yourself. Stalcraft combines the love of both series formulas from the Stalker games and, of course, Minecraft, I guess. Though you don't physically go around mining stuff, everything is resembled as a blocky texture or surface. Even the humans are shaped like Robloxians for some reason. The graphics are okay and give me a retro feel, almost like I'm playing a Nintendo 64 game from my childhood. Not a complaint, by the way. I know lots of people turn the other cheek upon seeing Minecraft-esque graphics in a free game, though for now, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. The style of the game is simple. Think of DayZ, Scum, literally any fucking Arma 3 mod out there. You play as a basic survivor in an apocalyptic open world full of mutated creatures and bandits. Your goal is to trek out into the playable areas looking for artifacts, guns, ammo, anything and everything you can get your hands on. There are safe zones where you'll spawn with a bunch of NPCs who can offer you quests, complete with rewards for doing them. You can meet other players and trade, talk to them, the usual shit you'd expect. I mean, it's literally Stalker, just different looking locations, blocky people, and a forced online mechanic. The world is just massive, offering loads of exploration options to the game by including individual structures and buildings to really pique your interest. Even with its cheap, blocky art style, it doesn't look bad. Hell, it looks a lot better than any of the other free-to-play games I've covered on this channel. But the one it directly rips from is an obvious classic to me, and if you've been a fan of the channel for a while now, you'll know the game I'm referring to is Stalker Anomaly. It's no secret. I love the game even today, and though I haven't played it in quite some time, it still stands as one of, if not my all-time favorite free-to-play game available for PC. I won't get into the nitty-gritty of it, especially since you've all probably seen my Anomaly videos, but just prepare your ears. I'm gonna be mentioning Anomaly a shit ton in this review. With such a massive property like Stalker, I think I speak for everyone when I say it'll be a fantastic day when the second game releases. Or it could be the worst, depending on your outlook. Many players argue today that Anomaly is the greatest game simply because of its outstanding mod community. But what do you feel is missing from the Stalker universe? For me, it's not much. Stalker scratches every itch I get for post-apocalyptic shooters and then some, so why would you ever try to rip off of a series that already made its own charm and appeal amongst people like myself? Why try to copy a franchise that offers everything, mods and more, along with a fantastic gaming experience at the cost of trying to bank off of its success? Enter Stalcraft. Stalcraft is, what else? It's got fucking craft in the title. It's a Stalker meets Minecraft game with mediocre mechanics, ridiculous gameplay, unfair challenges, and a plethora of other nonsensical shit. Please forgive me as this is my first cursed Steam review in a while, so I'm gonna let a lot of pent-up aggression out. Also, if the developer of this game happens to come across this review, please understand that I wouldn't criticize your game if I didn't genuinely care about it. Stalcraft has a lot of potential to be a healthy competitor to Anomaly, but it refuses to change its own formula, offering the most bare-bones experience imaginable. I suppose I'll start with the bad things, as many as there are. Stalcraft's graphics are alright, definitely just reminding me of a more updated texture pack for Minecraft, but much more gothic and monotone. Stalker is infamous for its very bland color scheme, which is why a lot of people incorporate mod support into their games to allow more saturation and natural reshades to take over, resembling a true realistic experience at times. Unfortunately, strike one for Stalcraft is there's no mod support. What? No fucking mod support? I suppose it's not the worst thing to hear, but Anomaly's community is heavily encouraged to make mods to the game by the devs themselves. You can't even rip off of Stalker in a fun and engaging way? No, they can't. You're forced to deal with the plain boring assets and decrepit, empty landscape that would make George Romero turn in his coffin. I'm not kidding either. In a good game like Stalker, you can pretty much find great loot so long as you're willing to search for stashes. Enemies commonly drop stash locations upon death, which are revealed to you on the PDA. They can contain all sorts of goodies like weapons, meds, armor, ammunition, any of the sort. In Stalcraft, there's absolutely nothing in the environment to investigate further. what you see is what you get. There's no loose loot located anywhere, there's no hidden stashes. Despite having multiple rendered structures and cabins throughout the world, I haven't found an iota of an item lying around somewhere. I'm convinced that this mechanic is broken, considering it doesn't encourage any type of world building or exploration. And look, oh, I came across a boat. You'd probably think, oh, there's gonna be loot here. I guarantee... Yep, how did I know? Why would you be able to go into the fucking boat and loot? Oh, nothing in these crates. Oh, nothing in these crates. Oh my god, this game is embarrassing. Nothing? Great. Oh, there's a ladder there, okay. I was gonna say, how do I get out of here? Oh my good fucking god, what? Are you kidding me? I guess I'm fucking stuck. I don't know how I got here. I was just trying to look for loot. Hey, I'm stuck. I don't know how to get out of here. How are you doing that? How did you... Wait a minute. Come back. Wait, I need help. Fucking asshole. You did that to tease me. How am I supposed to get on the ladder? Hey, guys, I am a complete moron. How do I climb ladders? You look up and press W and Q. Oh my god! I really hate to bring up Stalker so much, but I might as well. It shamelessly tries to mimic the culture and world from those masterpieces that GSC Game Studios blessed us with. Except, it can't even copy the formula correctly with strike 2 of this boring mess. The environment itself. Houses don't offer much loot or protection. In Stalker, whenever a psi-storm or an emission occurs, you have to run for cover to ensure your safety, lest you succumb to a miserable fate worse than death. In Stalcraft, only specific locations count as safety for the player. I ran inside a house to shield myself from the blast, but died anyway. Awesome. I must not be allowed to search that crate. Not like it matters, nothing ever has anything in it. Oh, I'm dying! Okay. I was inside. I was inside a building with a roof. I don't understand. You can't even rip off of Stalker properly. Strike 3 is the poor and extremely rare loot. Anomaly has loot in almost every single location, whether it be a stash or just some scattered items hidden out of sight. Sometimes you'll walk up to a table and find a can of beans or maybe a purified water. Other times you can break a box open and find a medkit. Stalcraft doesn't share the same luxury. As far as I'm concerned, there doesn't seem to be any useful loot in the environment itself. Sometimes you'll get very lucky and come across the aftermath of a battle or something and you'll be able to pick through the remains like a vulture. So I suppose that aspect is kind of cool, but other than that, you're almost never gonna find anything anywhere. Unless you spend long amounts of time painstakingly engaging in the boring quest system. The dropped loot from enemies mostly consists of valuables or ammunition anyway, so it doesn't feel all that rewarding. The quests mostly consist of walking back and forth between major segments of the game and speaking to the same characters over and over, slowly building up your reputation. Since you're beginning the game as a rookie stalker, most vendors and merchants won't even speak to you until you complete said quests. It kind of reminds me of Dying Light 2 and how everyone fucking spits on Aiden and shames him for existing. The NPCs hate your guts for no reason. At least until you work hard and earn a name for yourself in the various safe zones where they reside. Navigating these safe zones is very confusing at times due to the irregular labeling of different NPCs. On the map screen, if you're looking for a specific merchant, there's no difference except for the icons themselves. All of the traders in this specific location fall under the same title of merchant, which is just weird. Why not call one of them gun merchant or medical merchant? Naming them all the same fucking thing just irritates and confuses me. It also took me a long time to figure out how to buy ammunition. For the first couple of runs out into the zone, I was stuck using a knife in hopes I'd find a brand new gun or a pouch of ammunition left behind in a crate. Unfortunately, almost every box I came across in the wasteland was empty. It wasn't until I accidentally roamed to the corner of the starting safe zone and found this asshole who sells ammo. Thank God. Maybe now I can play the game. Another massive failure is the difficulty. When you're not walking back and forth for no reason, you're fighting a horde of enemies that give you zero time to react in any realistic or tactical manner. You could be walking up the road minding your business when a pack of wild dogs appears and mauls you to death before you even get a chance to say fuck. Oh man. Yeah, that's... You can't even outrun them. You legitimately cannot outrun the fucking enemies in this game. Yeah, this is so fucking dumb. Are you fucking kidding me? Why aren't they attacking this guy? Yeah, this game is fucking dog shit. They don't give you a fucking second. What is even the fucking point? When you try to run away, they'll follow closely until either you're dead or they are. They don't give up. And for some reason, there are a lot of map restrictions. Sometimes you could be heading towards an NPC or objective marker and suddenly you're being killed by radiation. It's not a small amount either. If you stick your big toe into a toxic area, the game will punch you to death and spit on your corpse. What the fuck? I was supposed to talk to this guy. Why am I taking radiation damage? Is he taking the same damage? He's not wearing any fucking protection, so how does that work? Why have a toxic area near an important NPC that I have to talk to? There's no point. It's not like I'm gonna find a rocket launcher or something down there. What the fuck's the point? Oh, good. Radiation poisoning? Okay, how is this guy okay? What the fuck is happening? Can you make it make sense? What happened? I walked into a safe area to deliver a message to somebody. I couldn't even read the text in time if I wanted to because you were killing me. The game serves to punish the player as a way of meeting Stalker's personal difficulty quota, but their idea of difficulty is throwing everything at you at once. There's absolutely no way to dodge enemies, and you can't outrun them either. You'll run out of stamina before you manage to get away from a pack of rats or fucking dogs, God forbid. The biggest gripe I have with the overall gameplay is how boring it is. Playing Minecraft after 3 NyQuil pills would be far more entertaining. Seeing the Hat Man at 3 AM would be a more exciting experience than playing these mundane, repetitious objectives. There's no fast travel either, so you'll have to thwart the landscape via loading screens through different regions, much like Stalker. All the same, you don't have any real rhyme or reason to travel further into the map for quite a few reasons. One, no matter what, you're going to get attacked by something. In Stalker, this is a great mechanic due to how diverse and challenging some of the enemies can be there. You'd rather go up against a group of brain-dead bandits than a small pack of snorks, right? So you can easily predict where those creatures spawn and avoid that area that could hurt you the most by checking your PDA and radar at all times. In Stalcraft, you don't have a fucking choice. You're forced to fight dogs, rats, boars, and fleshes, even if you're not the one instigating the fight. There's not much variation in the enemy design aside from their damage output, and they all move at the exact same speed. Rarely do you fight actual stalkers, let alone real players. Sometimes you'll get lucky and stumble across a group of bandits that need their asses kicked. Fighting them can be fun, but there's yet another problem. Look at how stupid fast their reaction time is. And they're so accurate too. I feel like I'm trying to dodge rain as it falls from the fucking sky. Or maybe I'm fighting the green fucking arrow. Why are they shooting me so quickly? Why can't there be a legitimate strategy to this? Oh my god, what the fuck? Look at how fast they are. Like, look at this fucking reaction time, man. Look at that. That's fucking ridiculous. You gotta play fucking peekaboo? Not even Stalker is like that, man. That is such horseshit. I gotta fight one enemy, back away. Fight one enemy, back away. Oh, and that was my last medkit too. So great. They don't even take cover. When the human enemies see you, they just hone in on you like Minecraft villagers with AK-47s. It's embarrassing to watch, but it's the only fun in the game I was having. Even more so when I fought another player and lost. I didn't do a good job of fighting him in the slightest, but I gotta thank him for making my experience less miserable by killing me. I didn't know that was another player. Oh. Yep. Unfortunate. And I'm all the way back again. I'm all the way back here again. I'm not even mad that that player killed me. That was the most excitement I got in the whole fucking game, was fighting him. Sure, I sucked, but I'm happy I got to engage with him because the game is so fucking boring. So good on you, man. Honestly, I'm not even upset about that. Here's another kicker. When you die, all of the loose ammunition you were carrying is gone. There are certain items that can't be dropped or lost after a combat scenario, including guns, but it still feels cheap to take the ammunition away. And guess what? If you die, you're forced back to the last safe zone you visited. This means that if you spend an hour in the wasteland finding artifacts and expensive stuff to sell, then get killed by a wild dog you didn't see, you're shit out of luck. Your ass is walking all the way back to where you died in order to collect your stuff and move on. Usually, in some open world games, you're offered rewards for completing certain objectives, such as destroying mutant nests or killing a stalker camp. The problem here is that you get the same rewards every time for doing the same fucking thing over and over again. Killing mutants, running back and forth, selling the items you've earned, and buying ammo or a new gun. Rinse and repeat. You don't really get shit. You literally get the same fucking rewards for everything. Look at this, Borden. You get green mold, you get that weird stick thing, you get season points, and then something else. Same thing with these, same thing with this, same thing with this. Same thing with this. First of all, if I'm fucking attacking a military checkpost, which, why not just say checkpoint? I don't understand what a checkpost is. It's the same fucking rewards as fighting a bunch of boars. The difficulty for the boars is average. Oh, alright, the military base just disappeared. Cool. I've read a few posts on the subreddit for this game, and it seems a lot of people are okay with defending its clunkiness and overall difficult vibe. To which I say, I guess you've never valued another video game in your life because this shit makes Dark Souls look like Blue's Clues. Sure, it's a skill issue, I guess, but what sense does it make that every enemy outruns you even when sprinting? Or how about the fact that human enemies can hit you before you see them? How about the non-existent loot that I should be finding in these buildings? How about an interesting storyline that doesn't depend on a multiplayer-only handle? By the way, I was able to unlock a better suit of armor after completing some of the main quest, equipped with a ballistic plate for some extra protection. But it doesn't really make a difference. You're still gonna die just as quick as if you were fucking naked. I assume it probably takes a good chunk of playtime to unlock a set of armor that actually matters, but this directly contradicts the fact that in Stalker, you can just look around the environment, find a stash with a set of decent or better armor, and claim it as your own. That's called good exploration. The sound design is bad too, at least with footsteps. You'll never get a warning when an enemy comes right up to your face and kills you in a few hits. A few people said, this game is a learning experience, and if you're not willing to learn and adapt from it, you're the problem. That might be a true statement for the Stalker series, but certainly not for Stalcraft. I can't fight the fact that the game doesn't like to warn you before bombarding you with bullshit. That's not a skill issue, that's just a poor design choice. They blatantly copied all of the basic construction of what makes Stalker fun and challenging, but stripped it down and made everything square, blocky, unrealistic. The models of the guns don't match the graphics of the world. They look way too good to be in this fucking trash bin of a free-to-play game. Not that it matters when you unlock new guns because they all feel the same with some stronger locked-off options unavailable to you from the beginning. I'm not against grinding and unlocking them, but I'm heavily against being lazy with your choices. You really can't just incorporate a way for me to find a good gun out in the wasteland, can you? Stalker didn't have this. You were encouraged to speak to anyone in the world for the sake of finding work. Even a random NPC walking down the fucking road could ask you to find someone who owes him money and kill him for a reward, whether it be ammo, guns, or even reputation in rubles. In Stalcraft, you're doing the same exact things in the same exact fashion with the same exact bullshit going on in between. Don't like it? Great. Turn off this video, leave a hateful comment, and a dislike. The game is dog water. That's not to say it's all bad. I know this whole time I've just been dumping ass on it, so allow me to give a bit of relief to your headache. Let me talk about the somewhat good things in Stalcraft. When it's fun, it's damn fun. As I mentioned earlier, fighting other players in computer-controlled stalkers was a challenging but different experience as compared to the rest of the game, which is just running around and fighting fucking dogs. You can loot human bodies and find useful ammo or supplies, which is the standard for this type of game. I also enjoyed certain locations, like going underground and searching my way through an abandoned military outpost, grabbing valuables to bring back to the merchants and make some real cash. This was the first location I found that had legitimate loot inside of it. The gunplay, although super underwhelming, is pretty impressive with the physical models of guns and reload animations. You can inspect your weapons at any time, which is always a neat feature that I can appreciate in games like this. The sprint mechanic is good in the sense that right off the bat you can run for a good chunk of time before getting tired. You'll probably stand a good chance of fighting back against an enemy or two when you're actually able to get some distance from them. You could probably run for a solid 60 seconds before your stamina needs a recharge, and that's pretty generous. The weapon compendium is also great. I don't think I found a single copy of a gun anywhere I went. I continued to do some favors for other settlements, and when I unlocked some tougher firepower, I was a little excited. It felt, at first, that I was enjoying the game at its core whenever I found some new guns to use. I do like the concept of the reputation system, but with a few tweaks, I don't doubt it could be perfected. For example, instead of having this really fucking confusing skill tree trading screen combo, how about make a list of simple quests that must be completed in order to unlock that specific gun? You could throw a quest in about fighting dogs and unlock a small handgun, then work your way up to tougher enemies and therefore better weapon rewards. That'd be kinda neat. I'm also aware this game is extremely lenient with its anomalies. In Stalker, taking a step off of your front porch could mean instant death from a fucking whirligig. You honestly never know. Anomalies are placed randomly throughout the zone, and it's a major pain in the ass if you're inexperienced. In Stalcraft though, I've barely seen any, and almost never ran directly into one. Honestly, that's a good thing. Anomalies act more as a fucking jump scare than anything, so the less I see the better. This might sound silly to some people, but I like how lethal the water is in this game. You can't necessarily take shortcuts by jumping across a ravine because it slows your movement speed a lot and grants radiation damage. Stalker's pools and lakes don't really deal much damage to you in most sectors of the map unless you stand in them for 10 days. Water is best avoided in Stalcraft, which makes for an interesting obstacle to the player. I also like the sound effects for the firearms themselves. They sound pretty good and feel powerful. I only wish the characters had rendered hands so we could see a legitimate reload animation rather than just a square nub slapping the rifles and pistols around. The server itself was pretty intact with only a few errors and rubber banding issues here and there. I didn't have any crazy game crashes or server freezing, so at least they know what they're doing in that regard. In a complete misshapen nutshell, Stalcraft is nowhere close to being the worst game I've played. It just has a lot of flaws that turn me away from it rather than keep me invested. I can see why kids might like it, or maybe people who struggle to play Stalker, but it's not an equivalent experience. It's confusing to me how anyone could choose this over the base games, or even Anomaly, because they have so much more to offer, so many rewarding and monumental moments, an epic storyline, tons and tons of mod support, yet still keeps the fundamentals the same. You have to adapt and learn from your mistakes, absolutely. That's the only way you get better at something, plenty of time and practice. But Stalcraft is so fucking boring, such a slog for me to endure, and when it just starts to get fun and interesting, I either die in 2 seconds, or I'm being forced to run across the map to speak to someone I don't care about, or I'm fighting boars and dogs for the 18th time. For the first time ever, I'm gonna rate the cursed Steam reviews on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best of the best. I didn't rate the previous ones mostly due to the fact that I feel you should form your own opinion of what's good and bad. From now on though, at least to me, it wouldn't be fair to talk about them without giving an honest rating from my perspective. Where would I rank Stalcraft in its boring, repetitive, but ambitious take on the open world action survival horror genre? I'd confidently give it a cursed rating of 2.8. While it seems to have a lot of promise for anyone who may be interested in playing something slightly easier than the Stalker series, it just doesn't scratch that itch for me. I won't hate the game too much for its overwhelming and unfair combat, but I will say that it's nowhere near the scale that Anomaly's at. I've made enough videos of that game on this channel to broadcast all across the entirety of fucking Moscow. Anyways, like I said, totally cool and understandable if you like it. It's got a certain appeal for younger audiences that enjoy Roblox custom games, I suppose, but other than that, it doesn't do much besides irritate you and make you want to play something else. That was my cursed Steam review for Stalcraft. I'd love to hear how you guys feel about the game, so I recommend downloading and trying it yourself. After all, it is a free game with a world to explore. I suppose that's better than some of the other things we've seen together on the channel. That's all I've got for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
Stalker is much better, much nicer too. Stalcraft is the worst. It's not the game for you. It's dark water, fucking A. It's dark water and fucking A. It's dark water, fucking A. Fucking A. Fucking A. It's dark water.